The massive Xilarian warship Eternal Dawn hung in Earth's orbit like a crystalline dagger, its translucent hull refracting sunlight into rainbow patterns across its surface. Admiral Vexthor stood on the observation deck, his forearms clasped behind his back, as he studied the blue planet below with barely concealed disdain. "Such a waste of resources," he muttered, gesturing to his science officer. "Show me their military capabilities again." The holographic display materialized, showing Earth's scattered military bases, aircraft carriers, and orbital satellites. The Xilarian crew analyzed the data with growing amusement. Primitive projectile weapons, chemical propulsion, and no unified planetary defense system, the science officer reported. Their most advanced aircraft can barely reach their stratosphere. They pose no threat to the Empire. But Lieutenant Kira, the youngest officer on the bridge, noticed something odd. "Sir, their combat simulation data shows unusual patterns. Their soldiers train for scenarios we've never considered. And these Marines, their training exceeds survival probability calculations." "Meaningless data points," Vexthor dismissed. "Prepare the subjugation announcement. The Empire has claimed thousands of worlds. These humans will submit like all others." The transmission went out globally. "People of Earth, the Xilarian Empire claims your world. Surrender your military assets and submit to Imperial protection. Resistance is futile and will result in orbital bombardment." In the Pentagon's war room, General Sarah Chen smiled, the kind of smile that made hardened veterans nervous. "Finally," she said, turning to her staff. "Authorization granted. Execute Ghost Protocol." Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in installations no alien scan had detected, humanity's real military assets stirred to life. Quantum-shielded hangars opened, releasing swarms of aerospace craft that had been waiting for this moment for decades. The first indication that something was wrong came when the Eternal Dawn sensors detected a massive energy spike from Earth's oceans. Before Vexthor could react, clusters of what appeared to be primitive missiles emerged from the water. The Admiral almost laughed, until they changed course mid-flight, their outer shells peeling away to reveal advanced gravitic drives. "Impossible," he breathed. "They're using our own technology against us." But it wasn't Xilarian tech. It was something else entirely. The human vessels moved in ways that defied standard combat algorithms, exploiting blind spots in Xilarian defensive systems that no one had ever considered. "Sir," Kira shouted, "they're not targeting our weapons or shields. They're boarding us." Armored figures emerged from the smaller craft, their suits displaying none of the ornate designs favored by other species. These were pure function, built for one purpose: war. The ship's internal communications crackled to life. "This is Colonel Jack Harper, United States Marine Corps. We've taken your engine room, weapons control, and half your command deck. Recommend you surrender before my people get creative." Vexthor stared in disbelief at his tactical display. Somehow, these primitive humans had completely outmaneuvered the Empire's most advanced warship. But how? The answer came from Kira, who had finally decoded their combat doctrine. "Sir, they never built defenses because they were focusing entirely on offense. They don't fight to defend, they fight to win." As Marine teams secured the Eternal Dawn, General Chen sent a message to all Earth's military commands. "Phase 1 complete. Begin deployment of the Ghost Fleet. It's time to show the galaxy why you never underestimate humanity." In the days that followed, the Xilarian Empire would learn a harsh lesson about assumptions. Humanity hadn't feared war. They had spent centuries perfecting it. And now, armed with technologies they had reverse-engineered from decades of studying fallen alien craft, augmented by their own innovations, they were ready to take their place among the stars. Not as subjects, not as primitives, but as warriors who had turned preparation for war into an art form. The galaxy would never be the same. The Xilarian High Command received Admiral Vexthor's capture report with stunned silence. Their most advanced warship, taken by a species that hadn't even achieved mainstream spaceflight. Impossible. High Commander Zelrus planted her crystalline appendage against the tactical display, released the combat footage. The holographic replay showed human Marines moving through the Eternal Dawn's corridors with terrifying efficiency. No wasted movement, no hesitation. Each team executed their objectives with precision that spoke of countless hours of drilling. Their suits, a military analyst noted, they're not powered by any known energy source. And those weapons, they're based on gravitic principles we've never seen. How long? Zelrus demanded. How long have they been preparing? The answer came from an unexpected source. A junior intelligence officer accessed decades of Earth surveillance data, cattle mutilations, mysterious lights, crashed weather balloons. The humans hadn't just been preparing. They'd been learning from every alien craft that had ever violated their airspace. On Earth, the Terran Defense Initiative shifted into high gear. Underground facilities worldwide activated, revealing humanity's real military capabilities. Quantum shipyards in the Marianas Trench. Training facilities inside Hollow Mountains, a Mars base that had been operational for years, hidden under polar ice. General Chen stood before the United Nations Security Council, now expanded to include representatives from every nation. Operation Ghost Shield is active. Our planetary defense grid is online. Satellite feeds showed the true extent of human preparation. What aliens had dismissed as primitive satellites were actually networked weapon platforms, disguised to look harmless. Every major nation had contributed their best technologies, creating a defense system that had been hiding in plain sight. The first real test came 3 days later. A Solarian battle group, determined to avenge their humiliation, dropped out of hyperspace near Luna. 6 capital ships, each larger than the Eternal Dawn. They expected to face primitive defenses. Instead, they met the Ghost Fleet. Human vessels emerged from quantum shadows, using technologies that merged the best of reverse-engineered alien tech with terrestrial innovation. Their ships weren't beautiful. They were functional, built around the lessons learned from centuries of warfare. This is Admiral James Chen of the TDS Normandy. The transmission went out. You're in restricted space. The terms of surrender offered to your flagship still stand. The Solarians responded with a full weapons barrage. Energy beams and plasma torpedoes streaked across space and passed right through the human ships. Holographic projections. The Solarian commander realized too late. The real Ghost Fleet had already maneuvered behind them, using Earth's quantum defense grid to execute impossibly precise, faster-than-light jumps. The battle lasted 6 minutes. When it ended, the Solarian ships were disabled, their crews evacuated to containment facilities on Luna. Not a single life lost. In the aftermath, as human engineers began studying the captured vessels, General Chen received a priority message. Other species, impressed by humanity's display of both military prowess and restraint, were requesting diplomatic contact. "Tell them we'll meet," she ordered, "but not as supplicants, not as primitives, as equals." The message went out across Solarian space. Humanity wasn't just ready for the galaxy. They had been ready for generations, and they were about to change everything. The Solarian Empire had never retreated from battle. Until today. Commander Yara Quinn watched from the bridge of the TDS Thermopylae as alien ships broke formation, their crystalline hulls reflecting panic in their erratic movements. Her Marines had just demonstrated why Earth's combat doctrine was revolutionizing space warfare. "Target the flagship's propulsion," Quinn ordered. "Let's add another ship to the collection." The battle for Proxima Centauri had begun as a Solarian show of force. 300 ships, their largest fleet deployment in a century. They expected to find a handful of human defenders. Instead, they found nightmare. Quinn's task force had unleashed humanity's latest innovation, the G8 system, quantum-entangled nanites that turned ships into living shadows, appearing and disappearing at will. Traditional targeting systems were useless against vessels that technically existed in multiple places simultaneously. "Ma'am," her tactical officer reported, "Silurian command frequencies are chaos. They're calling us demons." Quinn allowed herself a small smile. The Silurians had ruled space through fear for millennia. Now they were learning what real fear felt like. The human fleet moved like a school of predators, each ship anticipating the other's movements through neural-linked combat networks. They didn't fight like aliens expected. No formation, no standard tactics. Pure adaptation and controlled chaos. Multiple quantum signatures, sensors reported. "They're calling reinforcements." "Perfect," Quinn responded. "Activate the gravity wells." Hidden throughout the Proxima system, human engineers had planted devices that turned space itself into a weapon. Hyperspace routes collapsed. Quantum corridors twisted. The reinforcements arrived scattered and disoriented, perfect targets for the waiting Ghost Fleet. On the Silurian flagship, High Admiral Kexpol watched in horror as human marines phase-shifted through supposedly impenetrable shields. Their combat suits, powered by controlled quantum tunneling, made mockery of advanced defensive systems. "How do you fight an enemy that ignores the laws of physics?" a bridge officer screamed before quantum shadows consumed him. The answer came through ship-wide communications. "You don't. You surrender." Quinn's voice was calm, almost gentle. "Your empire thought we feared war because we hid our strength. The truth is, we understand war so well that we chose to master it in secret. Surrender now, and we'll show you why humanity's greatest strength isn't our weapons. It's our capacity for mercy." The battle ended not with destruction, but with transformation. 300 Silurian ships, the pride of their fleet, now served as testament to human military supremacy. But more importantly, they served as proof that humanity could win without wholesale slaughter. In the aftermath, as Quinn supervised the processing of prisoners, she received a priority transmission from Earth Command. Other species were watching. The balance of power was shifting. Humanity's approach to warfare, efficient, adaptive, and tempered by mercy, was creating ripples throughout galactic society. "Send word to the fleet," Quinn ordered. "Phase 3 begins now. It's time to show the galaxy that the strongest warriors are the ones who know when not to kill." The Ghost Fleet disappeared into quantum shadows, leaving behind a changed galaxy and a simple message. Humanity wasn't just joining galactic society. They were rewriting its rules. The Grand Council of Galactic Species convened an emergency session. Above their crystalline citadel, Earth's diplomatic vessel hung like a stark reminder of change. No ornate designs, just purposeful engineering and implicit power. Ambassador Sarah Chen, former general, stood before the assembled alien species. The same chamber that once dismissed humans as primitives now held its breath at her words. "The Silurian Empire has agreed to full diplomatic recognition of Earth and her colonies," Chen announced. "Furthermore, they've accepted our proposed reforms for galactic military conduct." The reforms were revolutionary. No more subjugation of developing worlds. No more technological suppression. A new doctrine of defensive warfare and proportional response. Principles humanity had learned through centuries of bitter experience. "But how do you enforce such ideals?" demanded the Kraxan representative, his tentacles writhing in agitation. Chen's response came as quantum shadows materialized around the citadel. The Ghost Fleet, revealing itself just enough to be detected. "We enforce them the same way we gain our position, through superior strategy and restrained power." Across the galaxy, evidence of human innovation was reshaping military doctrine. The feared Drachnid raiders, encountering human quantum phase technology, found their ships disabled and crews captured without a single casualty. The notorious hegemony battle worlds, facing human gravity manipulation, discovered their superior firepower meant nothing against an enemy who could bend space itself. Admiral Quinn, now commanding the Combined Defense Fleet, oversaw the integration of alien allies who recognized the changing tide. Species who once feared Solarian dominance now sought human protection, drawn to Earth's doctrine of defensive strength and measured response. "Your people are extraordinary," declared Ambassador Kitol of the Centaurian Collective. "You could have conquered us all. Instead, you protect and teach." In a secure quantum conference, Earth's leadership discussed the future. The holographic participants included representatives from every human world and major military command. "The galaxy expected barbarians," Chen observed. "Instead, they found philosophers who master war to prevent it. The Solarians taught fear through power. We're teaching respect through restraint." A new coalition was forming. Species tired of eternal conflict saw in humanity a different path. Not pacifism. Humans were too pragmatic for that. But war as a last resort rather than a first impulse. The Ghost Fleet became a symbol of this new doctrine. Their ships appeared wherever conflict threatened, not to conquer but to contain. Human Marines, once dismissed as primitive ground forces, now trained alien military units in the art of precision warfare. "We're not just changing military doctrine," Quinn reported to the conference. "We're changing how the galaxy thinks about power itself." The transformation wasn't without resistance. Hardline factions in various species, including human extremists, pushed for more aggressive expansion. But they found themselves facing a new reality. War had evolved beyond brute force. Human innovation had made traditional military superiority obsolete. As the council session concluded, Chen received an urgent message. Long-range quantum sensors had detected something massive approaching galactic space, something that would test humanity's new doctrine like never before. "Alert all commands," she ordered. "Phase 5 begins now. Let's show the galaxy what humanity does best, face the impossible, and turn it into opportunity." The void between galaxies lit up as something massive pierced the quantum barrier. The Harbinger Fleet, a legendary force of mechanical entities that consumed civilizations whole. Their world ships dwarfed even the largest known vessels. Full analysis. Commander Chen ordered from Earth Strategic Command. The quantum network lit up with data as Ghost Fleet sensors probed the incoming threat. The Harbinger's message broadcasted across all frequencies. "Organic life is inefficient. Submit to integration or face elimination." Humanity's response came not through words, but action. The Ghost Fleet engaged, but differently than before. Each ship moved with purpose, executing maneuvers that seemed random until the pattern emerged. They weren't attacking. They were dancing. Human vessels wove through the Harbinger formation, their quantum drives creating a complex web of gravitational distortions. The machines, expecting resistance, found their targeting systems confused by movements that defied mathematical prediction. "Now we know why the galaxy feared them," Admiral Quinn transmitted to the Ally fleet. "But they've never faced human ingenuity." The battle unfolded like a symphony. Human ships used the Harbinger's own mass against them, creating gravitational cascades that trapped the massive vessels in their own space-time distortions. Marine boarding teams, using phase shift technology, infiltrated the supposedly impenetrable world ships. Inside, they found something unexpected. The Harbingers weren't just machines. They were survivors of ancient organic civilizations, transformed by fear into the very thing they once fought against. Chen's voice carried across all frequencies. "We understand now. You chose machine efficiency because organic life seemed chaotic, unpredictable. But that's our strength, not our weakness." Through quantum networks, human scientists broadcast the truth to the Harbinger Collective. Their data showed how organic unpredictability, human creativity, and the controlled chaos of life itself were not flaws but advantages. The Harbinger fleet froze in space as this new paradigm rippled through their network. For the first time in eons, they encountered something their logic couldn't dismiss: organic life that matched their efficiency while exceeding their adaptability. "We offer you choice," Chen declared. "Not submission, not elimination, but evolution. Join us in protecting life's diversity rather than enforcing uniformity. The galaxy watched as the impossible happened. The Harbinger fleet, terror of 1,000 worlds, stood down. Their world ships, guided by human quantum technology, began transformation into massive habitats where organic and mechanical life could coexist. In the aftermath, the Galactic Council reformed under new principles. Humanity's approach, strength through diversity, power tempered by wisdom, became the foundation of a new era. The Ghost Fleet remained vigilant, but now they protected a galaxy united in understanding rather than fear. The greatest victory, Chen told the Council, isn't defeating an enemy. It's turning them into allies. That's what humanity does best. We adapt, we understand, and we grow. Together. The stars gleamed on newly restored worlds as organic and mechanical life learned from each other. The galaxy had feared war until they met humanity, not because humans were the greatest warriors, but because they understood that true strength lies in knowing when not to fight. And in the vast darkness between the stars, the Ghost Fleet kept watch, ready to face whatever challenges awaited, carrying humanity's greatest lesson. Victory comes in many forms, but the greatest of all is peace achieved through understanding.